Hi guys. Let me know if you can see me. If you're if it works. Diane working. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So this is a slightly different format. It's for a smaller number of you, and it's just this format. It's you'd ask me the questions, okay? And since I put out the announcement, I think we have enough questions for tonight. And the most pressing question that two people asked were about Hawaii, because so Barbara, one of us here, she's on the chat. Barbara is in Hawaii, and she wrote a post about how she went through all of the horror of actually thinking that there was a real muscle, right? That her family thought that there was something was really happening, and I can't even begin to imagine how terrible it must be, because I know, for example, those kinds of alarms I only get in New York is when it's an Amber Alert, and obviously Amber Alert, you get on the lookout for cars, but I can only imagine if for something like that, you get those alarms. It's very scary, okay, to say the least. And I wanted, before I'm shuffling the cards here, before I get started, I just wanted to say, I don't like scaring people in those sort of subjects, like, because the first thing I thought when I read about it, I was like, oh my God, so scary. So yeah, I thought Barbara was here. So she's saying, thank you. It hits you in waves, still reverberating. Honestly, I thought when I read this, I was reminded of something I had read before about how the Russians had hacked the systems in Ukraine to send text messages over there. So I thought it could be related to, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is like they want to make people scared. Okay. That's what I thought. And then there was in the news, apparently the governor said that it was just a mistake. Somebody had pressed a button. And guys, to be honest, I don't want to be like, conspiracy theory person. I'm not into that at all. Okay. Yes. Diane is saying maybe they don't want to scare us, but okay, I'm sorry. I don't believe that those kinds of things, you just press a button. Okay. Do you really think like, okay, I'm sorry, press a button, everybody, like there has to be some sort of like a system. I don't believe it's something external that you press a button, like, oh, press a button to tell everybody we're going to die. Like, no, that it can't be something like that. Like you press a button. Okay. I don't believe that. I'm not obviously, like I said, I'm not an expert. Right. Exactly. Diane is saying here, it's like when someone steals a credit card number, and like, or they ask to test $2 or something to see if it works or not. I feel like as far as I could read, there's many steps to those sort of security systems. So it's not like you can even write. And so I was watching this woman on one network saying that even the way it was worded, it was wrong. Okay, exactly, right? Even the way it was worded, according to this one who was a security specialist, like she worked in I don't know what you call it. Like I got maybe something like that. I don't know exactly, but sort of even a woman who has that experience, she said that the way it was written, it was wrong. Like there are procedures. It's just they overtest everything, overtest. So although, and the other thing, okay, so it took them so long to tell people what was going on. Like they didn't just say, I'm sorry. Like, for example, just a simple example. When someone sends, like, you get like some silly email and somebody forgot to add something, they say, I'm sorry, the last email was, misspelled this, or I'm reattaching. Right away, the person, like, just because, right away you get sent, like, please note that the thing that I sent was wrong, right? Yeah, Diane is saying an NBC journalist had just been in that exact room and said he didn't see how it would be possible with that button. So, like I said, guys, before I start here, I don't want to get like, conspiracy theory, but I feel like, I'm sorry, I don't believe that there's a button you could just randomly. Can you imagine if it's just like that? Oops, sorry, like a hit button, like ask button or something, like, your computer, you're like, oops, caps lock. Like that's not, you know what I mean? It can't possibly be that something so serious is accessible through a button. I don't believe that personally. Okay, what I believe is that there was some sort of hacking going on. Okay, and they wrote this stuff because they want, and I think, this is whoever did this, okay, whichever way, whatever the result's going to be, I still believe that whatever, I feel like they want this atmosphere of fear. And the reason that Trump, I mean, there's another thing, guys, the whole thing with Trump, like he was golfing. Like, of course he's always golfing. He's like, he's a whatever. But I feel like it was a moment that showed yet again that Trump he's vacant. He's not a president. He's an entertainer who's like only cares about things that benefit him. Like he only shows up. Yeah, exactly. So he's only there when it benefits him. Okay, basically. So what I think is that whether or not he was, my feeling, I'll tell you guys this is just my instinct, my feeling. My feeling is that there was a threat from the Russians or whatever. Could also be North Korea or something, but I think it's the Russians. They're like, we're going to hack, we're going to do this and that if you don't do ABC for us. And so they went on with their threat, and it happened. And Trump didn't react because he did not want to upset them or something like that. Okay, I feel like it's not normal that something like that. Okay, especially Hawaii with history of Pearl Harbor. There's a lot of it's very significant. Okay, in many ways, and I didn't know that, but there have been a lot of all these testings just for safety because of North Korea. So I feel like there's a symbolic element here that can't be overlooked, even if it was just a mistake. Like I can't even imagine any politician. They would be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry this happened. It's never going to happen again. They want to reassure the population. And the fact that he doesn't care, that he likes it seems like it's acceptable by him. He's probably like tweeting about fake news or like Democrats this or Obama that or something. To me is even a greater, to me it's another confirmation that it's okay, it's shady. Okay, so all right, so let's find out. Anyway, that's what I thought, guys. Okay, that's really my, I guess, theory without anything. Okay, so okay, all right, so okay, so guys, I'm gonna concentrate on the cards here, and I'm going to ask, I think I'm going to ask at once short brief little thing about, was this a real accident or was there something else or not? Okay, and then ask what happened. Okay, because I don't want to, I want the situation, like I want the answers separate from the situation and then looking at the situation and what's going to happen. Okay, so all right, so in terms of the fake threat in Hawaii and everybody getting scared because they got these texts, were these was this a true accident or was it hacking? Okay, and then tell us what happened. Give us the image. Give us the story of what happened. Okay, and whether this. And I was going to say if it can be prevented in the future, but let's just ask if they are saying it was an accident. What really? Was it an accident? Yes or no? And then tell. If not, then what really happened. Okay, so that's the situation in Hawaii. False alarm, what really happened. Tell us about the situation in Hawaii, what really happened. What happened in Hawaii? What happened in Hawaii with the false alarm? Was it really an accident, or what was this? What is the reality here? What is the situation? Please tell us. What happened? Explain to us what happened in Hawaii. We need to know more information. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just to enlighten us and give us more information. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so first part is so guys, I'll show you. So this is a Empress. This is a card of abundance. And I've said before, a lot of time, this sometimes to me represents the US, okay? And hardships. Oh, interesting. It looks like Hawaii, Diane's saying, okay? So yes, it could be, right? It could be abundance. This is the world and a snake in the world. And then another card of abundance. So basically, it's indicating money issues and corruption. Okay, here, card of corruption and loss. So putting these together, immediately what I get is problems due to the snake and corruption, through corruption. So okay, so here, guys, if it's nice, I guess we can see this very pretty closely. Let's see if I can move this a little bit. Yeah, okay, so here you can see that, especially the Lenormands, it's actually, you know, I don't know why this happens. It annoys me so much. So this is the direction, actually. So the first is the mountain, which is long problems with the abundant country and duality in the world. Like, in the sense, there's a snake in the world. Okay. And then financial corruption. Okay. So what I think this tells us really is that it's I don't think this is an accident. And I don't know, I'm trying to think, okay, I think cards related to accidents would be that there's a few cards like incompetence or like those kinds of cards, but I don't think that's what these cards, I don't see these cards here, honestly. So I would think there's a dual. I think to me this means, yeah, some sort of corruption and shadiness, okay, related to financial. Thinking to myself, okay, was it because there was a, because it's interesting because the cards in the back are very nice. But maybe, you know what, I think maybe this means the background of like a place that's very abundant and a world, like a beautiful world, or like in the midst of the world, or how it appears to the world. So in this beauty, create problems, okay, that are not the true story there, because the snake, in essence, the snake is duality, like a person who has two faces. So I feel like if the question is whether the situation is what they told us, I think the answer is no, because the snake means exactly something that you don't see, something that is not what it seems, okay? And the mice is another indication because it means corruption, like loss and theft. Okay, so theft, exactly. This would definitely be, if anything, if I think of hacking, theft and law, like, because the hacker goes into the system like a little bit and goes a little bit and a little bit until he enters. It's sort of, it is like a rat kind of entering, right? Like a house or something. Like they find a security flaw and they go in. Okay, so that's that. So I feel like, yeah, I feel like I don't believe it was I don't believe it was an accident. Okay, so let's look at the situation, what the situation is. Okay, that was the answer just for that part of the question. Okay, so let's look at the situation. This is a balance, and this is a bosses. Okay, stability, which is interesting, because we're looking at shady things. So Then the beginning. Now this is a devil is something that's caused by men, okay, in general. Not just, I'm not talking about necessarily gender men, but bondage and illusion. So this is like, I think to what this tells me, like this upside down, it means that this was the devil, like a situation that was called, like there was an attempt to create this illusion, okay, that this was not truthful necessarily. And this is a reputation, or so, like what something is, how something is perceived. So what I think this tells us in this context is that the situation was manipulated in some way to appear a certain way, okay? This is isolated, or maybe spiritual, and a place like a, maybe a little bit isolated, or spiritual nature or growth. And then Illuminati, right? Those so powerful group of people hidden, and networks. So networks of powerful people. So I think looking at these together, appearance, reputation. I think as what this means here, this is in the context of what we know, the moon, the tree, and the star it means reputation. And I think this could be actually like reputation of the land in a way, right? Of like this because in a way it's a little bit isolated. So it's like it could also it's like how the Hawaii is perceived, or like this situation in Hawaii through a network. Okay, so what I think this is saying something was like a network, like the appearance of something happening in Hawaii through a network of people. Okay, so what I think this means was a disruption in a network. Okay. And so on top we have the Queen of Wands. It means, I think, energy. It could be of like it's like the fire direction. So anger or charisma in the wrong sense. Okay, charlatan. Okay, so this is a gift or offer. And this is something not working, the detail not working well, not working right, and this is a guilt. Okay. And I think looking at the whole thing together, I think it means an invitation to the bosses led to guilt, or a gift, gift to the leadership led to guilt, or led to a bad problem or karma. So I feel, okay, so that's what it's saying. Now I don't, okay. And this is having power to make things come true, and lots of money. Worry, okay, worry about the cloud. Now it's interesting because there's another, with the internet, the way that things have developed, there's such a thing called the cloud, meaning the networks in the cloud, or like storage of data in the cloud. So I almost wonder if this is a little bit related to this. Okay. And then victory of society or public. Okay, so let's look at all of this together. Oh, yes, Diane said grid. That's interesting. Okay, so let's see if I can put these together here like this and talk about it. Okay, so let's look at the very top here. Reputation. The gift of reputation through money. You know, and then at the bottom, I mean, at the middle, we have the health of the bosses has a problem. There's something about the health of the boss that we can't see. And at the very bottom, we have the network. There's a problem with the network. Sorry, problem with the network. Yeah, problem with the public network. Okay, that's essentially what it's saying. Let me just put it, try to hold it tightly so that it doesn't fall. But you see here the networks, okay, and the guilt or the like heavy worry or karma. So problems with the network in the public. So problems through public networks that are connected to society. Okay. So in a way, this is, I think what this tells me is that, especially judging from the cards in underneath, the tarot gives us a lot of information, I think. I think there's some sort of, I really believe it's a form of threat or like blackmail, you know, the whole thing with the gift to the leadership. So I feel like there's like an arm wrestling going on and threats. I don't think these threats are ultimately super serious in the sense that they will happen. But I think what they said was that basically it's like, if I can like try to phrase it in a dialogue, it would be something like, what just happened in this beautiful place affected their network, happened through their network. And then this happened because of a gift to leadership made them guilty or made them owe something, okay? And then a lot of money, a lot of shady money affected, is not visible to the public, okay? Something not visible, something problematic. So I feel like essentially what's happening, and I remember reading, and guys, like I said, I'm saying what I'm looking at in the cards, okay? I feel like what I'm seeing here is that it's kind of like an arm wrestling exercise. Yes, Diane's saying grid, yes, blackmail, like extortion. Something not as, I feel like basically it is something related to Trump in some way or the government, okay? And I remember reading this, that people, like, I think it was that Diane sent an email saying that they had said, I think there was a threat before actually about, they said they're going to attack the US grid or something like that, the electrical. I remember this story, and Diane saying it was John McCain who said it. So I think this is not completely out of possibility, okay? In a way, this is like a psychological kind of, like they want to scare people. They want to show that they can do these kinds of things, okay? So that's what I'm getting. There's a level of manipulation. I don't think, let's see, okay, let's see what happens. Will this be stopped, or could this be stopped? And it's interesting because the card of okay, so this is the Fool, means risk, kind of like too much risk in pain or fighting. Okay, this is fighting. Moving away from disappointment. Okay, and this is a card of progress to something better. And this is a card of the fate, the emperor who abuses power, upside down, and an opportunity. So I think this is saying what I understand this to mean is that it's painful. It's going to be painful to move away for something better, but there's an opportunity. And I feel like it's sad because, you know what I feel like, what I'm feeling when I look at these images is I'm getting this like, oh my God, I can't believe we let this guy win. It's like, it's very, and it's saying it's an opportunity for this guy if we look at this card alone. So it's like, it's going to be a fight to like, well, we have an opportunity to move on to something better, but it's going to be painful and it's going to be a fight. Okay. And the opportunity is this, like, I don't think it's him. I think it's, like he is the cause, like it was the opportunity. He in some way made it happen. And the Fool upside down here means that it was silly. It was foolish to have let this guy, you know, can you imagine? Nobody checked his tax returns. Nobody did all, like there was no due diligence done on this person to find out whether he was gonna, you know, and there's a lot of people who already knew that he was sort of guilty or shady. And anyway, he kept going. Through an opportunity. If I feel like what it means, it's saying that it's a painful, the opportunity actually delivered a painful transition. Okay, so I feel like he let, you know what I'm getting, that he just let all these up, like he doesn't want to know about anything. You know how supposedly he doesn't even look at intelligence, what is it called, reports, like every morning the presidents are supposed to like look at intelligence reports, and he doesn't care. He's not interested. He basically does not want to do the job of being a president. Okay, he's not interested. So that's perfect for any enemies, because they're like, oh, that guy, whatever, he's in the, you know, and if there's blackmail, then like, hello, you know, he's like, he already doesn't do his job. It's not hard to make him like, you know, do stuff because he's not. And somebody was saying on MSNBC that, say George Bush, but when 9/11 happened, he was pretty, like he was on, you know, he was like he was doing his job, you know, he wasn't like kind of like off doing whatever. Okay, so yeah, looking at this together, oh my God, you know, it irritates me to no end. I don't know why this flips. It's so irritating. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so it's just like, it's here, the painful, it's like the painful transition that came through an opportunity. And an opportunity was the false, you know, the false prophet, the shady emperor. Okay, so that's part of it. Okay, so that's it. Now, okay, that was this part of the answer. Now let's see. I'm trying to think. What does it, like, are these kinds of things going to, what's going to happen in Hawaii? Like in this case, what is going to happen in Hawaii in the coming year in terms of this? Okay. Is this going to happen again? No, I think it's like, okay, let's see here. What's going to happen? So this is like, this is a person who never gives up, a last battle. Okay. The fox. The fox can mean a job, but it can also mean something that's going on, but something we're not aware of, we can't see, okay, going on behind the scenes. Now, the difference between the fox and the snake is that the fox you can't see. The snake is somebody in your environment or somebody that is visible. The fox is not, okay? So that's it. Now this is an opportunity. Okay, and this basically I'll show you what these cards here show is that this is going to be uncovered. So this is something comes to light. An opportunity comes to light. Whatever the opportunity was came to light. Okay. And it's important to say, actually, I didn't say this, but this is like last battle, but upside down, it means a person who will go all the way to the end. And that's what we're dealing with here. They really were pushing for it all the way to the end. And the opportunity is uncovered through these messages, emails or something, like aggressive emails. Okay, so I think it's going to come out. Okay, so I don't think it's going to, this is what's going to happen about this. You know, and guys, I'm thinking like, oh my God. So it's like almost like I can't even imagine. We have so much going on already, like that we don't deserve this. Okay. Barbara in Hawaii, she's saying, oddly, it seems that once you have dealt with this level of fear, nothing scares me anymore. Got courage from this ordeal. It's so sad that, you know, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to scare anybody, but what I'm thinking here, I see it happening, okay, is that there's going to be another like congressional investigation on this. It's going to get bigger. Okay. It's not, I mean, that's my intuition. It's not showing here, but I feel like this is going to be uncovered. However this happened. Okay. And if I look at the card, even the tarot card of opportunity, we can think of like security problems as opportunities, right? Like in some way. So this is letter also means writing or code or those kind or like writing in general. So it could be emails, but it could also be something else. So basically looking into the shady things will be revealed through a letter, okay, through writing or through some sort of threat that was committed in writing. Okay, so that's what I think happens. And what's going to happen, I'm trying to get, what's going to happen to Trump once we find out what came, like what really happened. Continue in the government. Oh my gosh, I just can't. So yeah, it's like I just feel I'm going to unplug this, but I feel like it's interesting that I see here because I basically mumbled to myself here a question: what happens to Trump once we find out what happened? Then it's a child. And it's funny, it's the card that has showed up for Obama before. I don't know if it's Obama, but basically here is this is a new person who's an ally, quiet ally, behind the scenes ally. Arrival of an ally, a new ally. And I'm thinking, I hope it means that Obama's coming because this is the Obama card. I don't know if it's true. I mean, I'm thinking, could it mean also that we'll just find out that there's like, these are Trump's people that did this, the news that they did it. I don't know, guys. It's unclear. I'm thinking okay, so then the other set of cards, it's like what happened, because basically I pull out more cards to find out what's next. Then it's like the card of prison or I think in some way guilt, and then the foreign government. Okay. And then they're starting to execute the plans. Okay. And then this is the suddenness of the business deal they had. Okay, so if anything, I feel like this is saying that this is the execution of the plan by the foreign power. Okay. And guys, I feel like I don't want to like scare you guys or anything. Like I said, I don't like conspiracy theories. I don't like these like, you know, things, those kinds of questions. But I think in this case, I really have such a strong feeling that it was not like an accident. Okay. And what I'm getting here is that, yeah, the foreign, because it's like starts here. So the foreign country is happy through a deal. So it's like that was the deal they made in some way or another. And I feel like the whole thing of it here too suggests that it's like that the chaos is part of, oh my God, interesting. Diane is saying something relevant, that Hawaii is Obama's home state and Putin hates Obama too. Okay, so another reason why like Hawaii could have been ignored. Okay, so okay guys, I feel like I went on many like different threads here, so just let me go back and give basically a summary. Essentially, it looks like there was like trouble in the network. There was like somebody went into the network, okay, and this came as a consequence or as a payback maybe because of the business deal that leadership had, okay, probably with the Russians or something, and that there's like, and then in the future, like there will be revelations regarding this money deal in the public eye, but until then, they affect networks, okay. So what happens next? What happens next is, or more information. More information gave me that part about the painful transition through an opportunist. So this is in a way the price for paying for having this person as the president, right? Like that's what it's saying. But eventually, and I asked like, what happens next? Like if it becomes public that this was caused by an external force and not a mistake, then there's news of a new person who's a good person coming, a better person arrives, okay? So it's probably mentioning something related to Obama, but this is something that made the foreign country happy because it was part of their deal, like creating chaos in a way or another, okay? So I don't know, does it answer the questions, guys? I feel like that's what I feel like. Okay, that's the whole, that's what I feel. I honestly, I do not have a very bad, like, I don't feel like, how do you say it? I don't believe that like actual bombs are gonna like this. And I'm sorry, this is horrible. This is the worst thing, because what if actual bombs were to happen? I don't think they will at all. But like people don't trust. Okay, that this is the danger. Okay, so this is why we need better leadership, and we cannot continue with this president. This is like immoral on every level. Okay, I don't care what party you are. I don't care if you voted for Trump or not, but the reality, you cannot treat your own citizens like this. Okay. So anyway, so that's what I'm thinking. Okay, guys. So I feel like it's just a kind of like and one question I wanted to ask, and I think maybe, I don't know if today, but maybe next reading I do, is about whether Kim Jong-un is working with Putin, okay, to like create this, because the strong feeling when I saw this card, let's see if it's even here, still here, the part when I asked about whether it was the first part of the question, whether this was an accident or not, okay, and it showed these cards, and I feel like what this is saying really is that there's some sort of, I feel like I get some sort of theater here, the snake and the corruption. I feel like they're creating all this chaos on purpose so they can try to get away with stuff. Okay, and it's very serious. Yes, Barbara Bridges, and I'm reading Barbara because there's people might see it later, not know. So you're saying attack in Pearl Harbor woke up the giant, attack in the psyche of Hawaii will wake up the collective, I think. Yes, and I think also, as Diane said, it's an attack on Obama in some way, in symbolic way. Okay, because then I wonder if Obama is gonna, in some way, if it's true that many of us have seen that Obama could come back, then I think this could be a strong trigger. Okay, and I think it's only, and I think the card said basically too, only, it's like only the ramifications of a deal with this guy, with Putin probably, you know, he's like, I want my money, or I want you to do whatever I want. If you don't, then I'm going to do A, B, C, or D. And he's beginning to do it. Okay. And I think, you know, guys, this is, now that I'm saying this is why I'm thinking, you know what, this is why he didn't respond and hasn't responded, because he's afraid. That's what I ultimately think. Okay. He's afraid of Putin. And he does not, you know how Trump is like, he doesn't care about people. He only cares about himself. So he's not thinking, like, he doesn't have empathy. So he doesn't think, oh, I wonder, you know, how people in Hawaii are thinking. He doesn't care. He's not like, he's like, I'm scared of Putin, so I'm going to crawl and golf, whatever he does. You know, he's just like, and I think the whole thing was, I asked the last reading, I asked about whether we're going to have fair elections and how important it was that he's removed, because I think that's what it is. He turns his back on those things. He probably turned off the, like, a lot. I don't know what it is. You know, I'm not, obviously I don't know any details about anything security or anything like that, but I feel like maybe he just doesn't make it a priority, or he cut the office that manages those kinds of things or something like that. And so that these kinds of attacks becomes easier, like, right, hacks or whatever, you know, they become like easier, you know what I mean, to happen. So because honestly, guys, and no matter what, I just don't believe, you know, regardless, you guys, like, sometimes I'm like, don't believe, you know, I'm reading, these are cards, these are just stories, like, it's just a way for us to understand this better. And I don't want anybody to, like, take it super seriously, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what, at all, I really personally do not believe in any way that, like, that was just an accident. I do not believe it. I don't believe it. So I don't care, like, you know, in order to earn the trust of people, they're going to have to do something. If they don't do something, and I'm like, I just honestly, I hope, and I'm having an image of people in the military, Pentagon or whatever, they're like having like meetings as we speak right now, like, because they're like, we have to remove this, like, it's serious. Okay, it's really like, it's very serious, because if we think of how desperate Putin is to get his money, right, because of the Magnitsky Act. So it's like he's probably going to try to do everything he can to put pressure on Trump, okay, to show him, like, this is the stuff that we can do against you. So, and it's going to get worse. That's what he wants. Like, okay. So, all right, guys. So that was the question. And I'm like, oh, I just hope that, like, and the cards show here, this is ultimately uncovered. Okay. Those shady things come to light. And, like, again, guys, take everything with a grain of salt. Okay. But this is what the cards say. And this is, okay, this is what I think. All right. Okay. So, yeah, Trump doesn't care, but I think it's like, it's just a test between, it's like all this stuff is happening behind the scenes, and it's a test of limits. Like it's like he's pushing the limits of, like, what he can get away with, and, like, whether Trump is really is really doing his best to fulfill his agenda, whatever it is. Okay. That's the thinking. That's what I saw here in the cards. All right. So do you guys have any more questions about this? Regarding Hawaii, because then if not, then I'm going to move on to the next questions. Okay. So there are a couple of, like, a few other questions, and another question that I think is very interesting, and it was a question about whether the blue wave will really win. And then let me see here if I can. I'm just gonna 1 second look at another tab while we talk. But, like, it's the question of whether, and I've seen this before with the Democrats winning the majority of the elections. Okay, next year, but this was probably like almost 2 months ago that I did this reading. So it would be interesting to see, like, it'll be interesting to see an update, because there's just a lot of like a lot of talk about now the blue wave this, the blue wave that. So what does that mean, really? Okay. So anyway, And for some reason, I can't, I don't know, I'm trying to access that and I can't. Okay, anyway, so let's see the question about blue wave. Okay, will the blue wave really happen, right? Because I think it's like, and we were all asking, like, so how's, I think at this stage, it's not a question of like, Trump has to leave, okay, regardless of whether it's Mueller or whatever. But if not Mueller, then it's going to be impeachment, and impeachment is only going to happen if the Democrats take over. Okay, so that's also base of the question. Okay, so is the blue wave really going to happen? Will the blue wave truly take hold in 2018 elections? Will the blue wave really happen and take hold in the 2018 elections? Okay. Okay, because this ties into this in some way. Okay, so will the blue wave truly happen? Take over 2018 elections, local elections. Will the blue wave truly happen and take over 2018 elections? Will the blue wave truly happen and take over the 2018 elections? Okay. I think so. Blue wave really happen and take over. Okay, so it's funny. So here, if this is I'm going to do 10 positions. So to left to context and past, and right to what happens next. So this is the center. Okay, so this is plans, new plans. Okay, new arrival of a new plan of a new way to see the world, I think. Okay, and this is exciting. So this is a card, not just the secrets, but a card of something that's not yet seen, that's going to come. We have an ending. So I'm hoping, I'm excited to see this. It is meaning, it means that, you know who might come, there'll be an ending. Because basically this is kind of exciting, guys, because it really has to do with the elections, and the elections are probably around what, November? Okay, so if this is showing an ending, like there's something is gonna happen that's not yet visible, we don't know about it yet, and it's an ending, the news of an ending, so that means that before November, an ending probably to this government is gonna happen, hopefully, God willing. Okay, all right, so let's go to the context, the beginning, and then see what happens. Yeah. And then here, yeah. So yeah, I think, okay, here is a deal, like suddenly, deal happened. There's certain clarity. This is interesting because it's hope, but the hope is right underneath the fox. So there's a behind the scenes deal. And yeah, so I feel like it's showing that there's going to be change. And this is disappointment and apathy. This is exactly describes us. Right? We have this apathy and disappointment because of the corruption. This is a stability and reputation. So there's like tranquility and stability and temperance, right? Peace of mind regarding the reputation or place in the world. So also the mice card means something else. It means a loss. So it also means stress and loss of reputation, which is possible under Trump. I think we have experienced that to a degree. Okay. So looking at the first on the left, like this is the beginning, the deal behind the scenes, deal related to corruption and loss, and behind the scenes and like reputation as untrustworthy. Here, interesting, very good, leads to an ending. So this corrupt deal, news, okay? So there's news about the corrupt business deal and the shady stuff that affects the reputation to an ending. So this is, the question was really what happened? Like, is the blue wave going to happen? But I think this is giving the context for it to happen. Okay, so this is here. And this is a card of heartbreak, which I think describes me. And I think probably describes you guys too. Disappointment. And then something about the election. Okay. And there's a lot of fighting. Okay. And a key, like fighting or disagreement. Very competitive. Very competitive is key. Competition is key. Or maybe what this is saying here is that the solution is the election. The election is also, could be also that it's key to his removal. Okay, so the election is key. And then this is wrong works and moving away to something better. So we're moving away to something better. And this is an opportunity to move away to something better. That's what it's saying. And this is a victory. And this victory is an opportunity to move to something better. So you know what I'm feeling here is that, yes, it's going to happen. The blue wave. I mean, the cards aren't like, I think it's interesting because the cards gave me much more the context of what's really going on. Okay, not so much like, I'm not seeing like, oh, look, the blue wave. Like, it's not that direct, but it's just giving the context for everything that happened. Because you can see here going forward, okay, this is news of the election lead to something better. Okay, needs of like could be news of elections or new elections lead to something better, and an ending is key to this opportunity, and an ending is the solution. This is an opportunity to end this nightmare. Okay, basically. So, but what I get again, because I have the news here, again, I just wanted to reiterate that because we have the news card and the news of an ending, and it comes before the outcome. Okay, this is the center. I feel like it's saying that before the, like this card where these cards here are the final outcome. Okay, because this comes before, I'm inclined to think that we're going to have news of an ending before the actual elections happen, because I'll show you one by one. Okay, the two, those like what these things mean. Okay, so there's a shady, treacherous deal. Okay, part one. Part two, there's loss to a reputation. After there comes news of an ending. And an election is a solution. An election is key here. And there's an opportunity to move on to something better. Okay, so that's how that's how you look at things progressively. Okay, so another way to look at it is like it's called mirror technique. So you have these cards that are kind of like on the same mirror position. So it's like corruption related to the election, and our reputation in the world is key. And then yeah, so deal, we move on. Like we move on to this deal, and it's an opportunity. It was an opportunity for the fox. So I feel like what this is really, to me, it seems pretty clear that there's going to be elections, and that the elections are going to be very positive for us. But I think that the ending comes before the elections, before November. Okay, an ending, the news of this ending is going to happen before November, and obviously is going to affect these elections. But I don't think that the elections, basically, I don't believe that the elections is what is going to change things. I believe that things are going to, like, the news of this change or news of an ending is going to come before the 2018 elections, and the elections are going to happen, but that's not where the change is coming from first. Okay, so let me think. Okay, will the good people, will the Democrats really win? What's going to happen? And this is interesting. This is this card, whenever it comes up like this is Republicans. So gift to Republicans. It's interesting. And this was the plan to turn everything upside down is revealed. Okay. And this is a propaganda. This is like a fake news or lies. Okay, because this is all illusion that was created by an external force and the ship. Now it's interesting because when I first saw the cards, my question was really bots. Yeah, when I first saw the cards, I thought, okay, this means that it's this first two cards are very positive. I was like, oh, the ship, and I'm like, doesn't mean that these people leave, because sometimes ship means somebody leaving. But I think essentially what it's saying is that the gifts, the financial gifts to the Republicans and their plans to turn everything upside down will be revealed, and through the propaganda or the fake stuff coming from the foreign powers. Okay. So it's interesting because I don't think it's given me the answer. I was expecting something else. I was expecting like I wanted the dog card or something like that. But it's just saying that all of this is going to happen before the election, maybe. Okay. And that's that. And I'm thinking also, actually, maybe, you know what I think we should, this was not, Diane has a question about Ted Cruz, which I think would be an interesting addition to this. But I want to know, almost in relationship to this blue wave question, if society is there will be changes in society. Like if we will be able to experience, because I feel like the question was about blue wave. But I think the question I want to know is whether we, the people, are going to win, okay, versus them. Okay, I feel like this is not about necessarily about Republicans and Democrats. This is about we the people. It's really at the bottom of it is like, will we be able to keep the demo? It's like the questions that we have been asking is that, will we be able to maintain, to take back the country, right? In the sense, because it's falling, like it's taken them a year now and they're destroying everything in sight. So will we be able to have the country back is really the core of the question. Okay, obviously the candidates have to be Democrats, because if not, then they just sell out everything to anybody who will pay. Okay, they will do, they don't really care. But and what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the card before we have the reading. Okay, which is society or the public. Okay, this is us, the garden. Okay, so I'm asking, will we have the country back? Will we, the people, win the country back? Okay, and basically through the elections or in 2008, will we be able to have the country back? Okay, as a result, in the terms of the blue wave, will we be able to elect the majority of Democrats in the House and Senate? Maybe this is like, will we be able to elect the majority of Democrats in the House? Will we be able to elect majority of Democrats in the House and Senate 2018? I just put it very directly. Will we be able to elect majority Democrats and to the House and Senate? Okay, this is really the core of it, because that would mean that's what the blue wave really is. Okay, will we be able to elect majority candidates for for House and Senate 2018? Okay. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like so this is money and a deal through a child. And I think I was like, does this mean Trump? I feel like it could mean new people. Okay. Conversations about creating changes in the government. Okay. Conversations about positive changes in the government. And the permanent solution. Okay, the permanent solution through happiness, or like it's we have this card is interesting because it's very positive. It's also invitations, happiness, gifts. Okay, so the key here is stability, happiness through stability. Okay, so that's, I think, what we want. And I think also, in a way, if you look at the card ring, it also means a law or something, right? If a person is elected, that could also mean a deal in some way. So I think the answer is yes. Okay. But I just feel like it's weird. I'm getting this heaviness of everything. I feel, guys, we're in for a rough ride. It's just that honestly, I feel like before it gets better, it's still going to get worse until the mid-year, and then it gets better. But until then, there's going to be a lot of resistance from the other side. Okay, they're going to try to hold on to their power. They're going to do everything they can to hold on to this, and they're going to fight. Okay, and that's their way of fighting. All right. So those were the questions about the giant dynasty. Trump triples down and advises them to do the same. I think exactly. So, but I think for us, it's hard to imagine how under threat these people are. Okay, because for us, obviously, it's a matter of survival of the country, but for them, it means they're going to jail. They're going to lose their careers forever. Okay, all these people, if this is revealed, and that's the problem. It's not just that they have to win or lose an election. It means they're trying to prevent this prevent people from finding out their true nature. Okay, that's the fight here, and that's why it's tough. I don't think we realize, and we'll never know what is happening. And I remember watching this woman, I don't know if you know her, Denise Siegel, I think her name is. She's an astrologer on YouTube, and she was saying that, and I remember at the time when she saw it, I was like, whoa. She's like, you guys, when this comes out, it's going to shock people how much they've planned and how much they've done, right? Barbara's saying true, they will resist, but people will persist. So I feel like she said that, and I remember at the time I was like, really, like, wow, like, because we just want Trump, just want Trump to be out, but no, and this is why I think they really are fighting so hard, okay, and this is why because Christy, Christy's saying the comment section is working, but I'm reading, Christy, I see you now. Okay, I see you now, Christy, I see your comments. Anyway, so that's waving. We'll we start waving. Okay. So anyway, guys, so yeah, so I feel like that's the challenge here. But what I'm getting, like I said, because I was expecting to see the answer about the whole thing about the Blue Age to be so positive, but I don't. It's just showing everything is going to come before it, and it's dark and it's heavy. Okay. And I think the whole question with Hawaii is also probably related to this. Okay, it's you know how they say infections, like you have when you first treat them, like it gets worse until it gets better, kind of like this. All right, so that's what I'm feeling. So let's Diane, you had the question about Ted Cruz. She had a question about Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio. Well, I don't know if we'll have time to do also Marco Rubio, but let's do Ted Cruz. Okay, yeah. Then yeah, let's leave Chelsea Manning to another time. But let's do. I think Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is an interesting. Okay, because it's like he's a Republican, and I think Chelsea Manning is like I think a little too controversial, and we don't know. I don't know if it's a great candidate for those kinds of for this moment that we're under. Okay, anyway. So let me think about Ted Cruz, because Ted Cruz is just like such a freak. So Diane, do you know when what's the deal with his election? Is this coming? I don't know if I pay attention to everything, but is this year that he's going to run for re-election? Is that what it is? I think so, right? I think I read something. Okay, yeah. I think it's like, let's see what's going to happen to him next, even if it's the election's not right now. I think I read something about him. What's going to happen to Ted Cruz in terms of his political career? What's going on with him? Because I don't think he's part of the Mueller investigation, but he's a very prominent Republican, and he's very close to those donors, the Mercers. Oh yeah, so she's saying 2018. That's Ted Cruz's election. So what's going to happen with Ted Cruz's career in politics in the next year or so? Is he going to be reelected? What's the deal with Ted Cruz? Ted Cruz. I got a porn addiction. I'm Ted Cruz. Okay, Ted Cruz. So gross. Like, I got a porn addiction. Like, I can't believe. Okay, when I'm thinking back, the whole conspiracy theory of him was that his father being involved in the JFK. The whole thing is like, oh my god, I feel bad for him almost. But okay, so Ted Cruz. What's going to happen to his life, political life? in 2018. Will he be reelected? What's the deal with Ted Cruz? Okay, please tell us what's going to happen with Ted Cruz. So what's happening with Ted Cruz? Yeah, he's in a way, to me, he's an interest. Yeah, that's oh my god. I don't know. Yeah, he's so weird. Ted Cruz is just so, and this is the thing I don't get about all these Republican characters. They're so slimy. Like if you worked with somebody like Ted Cruz, how could you would not like him either? How do people like that go ahead? Like, hey, they get ahead. They're so unlikable. I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Exactly. He's so fake. What happens with Ted Cruz? What's up with Ted Cruz? What's happening next to Ted Cruz? What's happening with Ted Cruz? What's happening with Ted Cruz? Will he be reelected? What's up with Ted Cruz? What's up to him? Yes, Christy is saying it so obvious. Yeah, so what's happening with Ted Cruz? What's happening with Ted Cruz? Ted Cruz, Ted Cruz, Ted Cruz. So this is averting death or meetings and conversations basically. And this is leaving. This is interesting. He's averting death, and he's trying to not, like, he's avoiding leaving behind. And there's this is a deal here. He's trying to work out like deals or something. And it's interesting because both of these cards, the tarot cards, death and leaving something behind, would tell me that he's not going to be elected, even though it's upside down, meaning he's trying to avoid these things. I think we'll see what the reading says, but basically I feel like he knows that there's something in the air here. Okay, so yeah. I feel like he's going to be affected by Trump, okay? Because this is the first card, Trump upside down, right? Reputation of Trump. So whatever Trump is going to affect. Okay, we'll see. 1 second. I think Donna is asking, who are these people trying to make deals with each other? I think it shows here in the rest of the reading, more comes out. But okay, so this is a reputation with Trump, and this is like a person who, it's basically, like this is a problem, right? So this is an unburdening of a problem, or people talking, and the secrets. So the unburdening of secrets is going to affect Trump's reputation and his as a result. Okay, so this is going to make it hard for him. Long-term difficulties related to money. Okay, maybe make it harder for him to raise money. I don't know. And this is it's a victory upside down, so may not get what he wants once things become public. Okay. So I feel like, okay, let's look at the first part of the reading and hear everything together. So reputation affected by a secret, hard times, difficulty, difficulties with the reputation once secret is revealed. Okay, secret revealed, difficulties. Okay, and now this is a part of conversations. So I think what happens here, actually, it means that there's like difficulties with the reputation, and people start talking about it. It affects the reputation, and a lot of people start talking about it, and the secrets come to light through deals. So there's like maybe something, he may be involved in some sort of like bigger deal that comes to light or something, or his name might be in it or something like that. And again, because this is the first card here with the, like, this is Trump at the very beginning. So I feel like it's telling us, it's giving us a tone. Like, I feel like I get the image of dominoes really affect him too. Okay. And this is strength, solution. So the key here is maybe he's, I don't know if he's in a strong position or not. And this is an energy, okay, or like maybe there's a woman, but this is fighting or pain. So the key here, it's important that it's going to be painful for him. It's showing us that this matters, okay? And there's going to be disappointing news. Related to a negative judgment related to Russia. That's how it ends. I mean, I don't know, guys. I feel like you should tell me if you, am I seeing too much of what's not there? Am I really, and because I'm looking, the more I do these readings, the more I'm like, you know what? Do I need a cleansing or something of these cards? Because I feel like it's things that are very like kind of similar things. So okay, so the other, this is towards the future and the context of the future. So the key or the solution or the answer, there's going to be a lot of conversations that are going to give an answer and going to bring some news. So I feel like what this is saying is that the like all this investigations, the secrets coming out that affect Trump affect him too, and it's going to be like painful deals, foreign power in some way. So I think, guys, ultimately, I think what this is saying, and I could be wrong, is that if those things, if those readings are right, okay, the whole thing with the Russian investigation is going to affect the entire Republican Party in some way, okay? Because Ted Cruz, it seems pretty peripheral to me, okay, in terms of Trump, like, okay. So, so for some reason, I think there's going to be an aftermath coming out of this, out of Trump, okay, even for those Republicans who are not directly involved in his, okay. And I think there's news about, basically news, it ends with the news about Russia creating disappointment and negative judgments related to this investigation. So, okay, let me ask, will Ted Cruz be reelected? Period. We got without too much background, just 3 cards. Just tell me, will Ted Cruz be reelected? Well, look at the first card. Death. Death. The public. Whew. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, look, let's look. Let's look. Death in the public because of corruption. Okay, I hope so. I'm gonna pray. Oh my God, because, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, let's see the context. Death, world. Wow, man. Woo, woo, woo. Oh my God. Okay, so the world is interesting because the tarot cards are very positive, but like the world is death in the world. Like this isn't around the world. There's justice. Justice, I think, also meaning karma, right? So there's karma in the public eye. The world sees justice and karma, and there's happiness and love, okay? and that's how people feel. And it's interesting because there's justice in the world, and people feel happiness as a result. There's an ending to his position in the public eye because of his corruption. I hope this is true. I hope, guys, because like I said, I'm just interpreting what the cards are saying here. And of course, like, obviously I'm quote unquote biased because I feel he's repulsive and disgusting. But at the same time, yeah, Krista Johnson saying Mueller inspires trust in this for me. Yes, because I feel like it's interesting because I know, like I said, I feel like a lot of time, like recently, the readings have been kind of saying the same thing. Maybe it's a good thing, okay, that like the questions are hitting the same direction, okay, and all of this is affecting them because, like I said, I don't think Ted Cruz is really a very prominent person in the anti-Mueller thing, or like I don't think of him very often, really, but because like it's showing here that he's not going to be reelected, and there's all this conversations about Trump and how Trump affects his reputation in the world, then I am inclined to think that investigation is going to affect almost too many things. Okay, it's going to affect majorly. Oh, you guys, I forgot. You know that Mercer, before he found Trump, he was a big supporter of Ted Cruz. So maybe it's there could be something there. Okay, because he once Mercer started supporting Trump, then that's how Trump went up. But now I forgot about this. Everybody, including Kellyanne, the book talks about it. Like, she was working for Ted Cruz because Kellyanne works for the Mercer. So I think this could be, if they really do trace, and this is what it's looking like, right? In all the other readings, if they do trace the money, the Republican money, and if it's true that it's all very compromised, then this could have huge implications. And it's weird, guys, because in a way I'm thinking it's just so weird. The whole thing is too strange. You know what I mean? The whole, like, when we look at the situation, especially today with Hawaii, it's like, are you kidding? Like, this guy, no matter how you put it, no matter no matter how you frame it, this guy is not fit to be president. Like, I don't care who, like, even the most conservative person has to admit this guy, what is he doing? He doesn't work, he doesn't do anything. So, but then it's like, I feel like what I'm trying, like the image that I'm getting in my head now, it's like seasons. You know how, like, in the fall, it's like the summer, everything is so beautiful, and then suddenly the leaves fall. You see that obviously here in the East Coast, but that's kind of like the image I'm getting. It's like, yeah, things it's hard to imagine that this stuff could happen, that they could actually fall. But that's what it's like all these cards are saying and have been saying for a while, is that the fallout of the Mueller scandal is going to affect too many people, a lot of them. And I think nothing could be more obvious. Like, this is very clear. Okay, this is like Ted Cruz here is not, it's like, no, he's not going to be reelected. He's going to die, like his reputation is going to die in the public eye, okay, as a result of corruption. So that's that. So that's the answer, guys. So I think I answered most of your questions, okay? And oh my God, yes, Krista Johnson. Yeah, so, but Christy, unfortunately, I think we're running out of time. It's already like 85 minutes. So next time, it's gonna those readings, that's a smaller group, and you choose I'm gonna do this in the next reading, like, which is Tuesday. I'm gonna do this, okay? About the CIA director going to having their own. No, that's great, Christy. No, that's great, because I think I want to prioritize you guys also. Okay, so, and I think the whole question with Eric Prince is very, very. He's such a huge. Oh my God, he's so shady. And I was reading something about Dana Rohrabacher, like one of the people that works for him made money from being a Blackwater lobbyist. Okay, so it's like they're all, yeah. So like I don't even know. It was like they were explaining, talking. It was just something I saw on Twitter briefly. I didn't even read, but that's what it said. So it's kind of shady, so shady. So anyway, so we need to find out about Eric Prince. I think it's time, and Christy is reminding. So the next get together on Tuesday, the public with more people. I'm going to do that. Okay, guys. So, but I think they answered the question of the blue wave and everything. I feel bad because and I feel like I wish I had like more news. It's all like kind of the same stuff. It's like stuff's going to come out and it's going to affect them and da, da, da. But hopefully, you know, and I was thinking about this today, how it's infuriating, everything is happening, but I think we have to continue with it's kind of like almost like a prayer in a way. I feel like if anything, sometimes like I said before, it's not that I have guilt, but sometimes I'm like, am I seeing things? Am I crazy or stuff like that? That I'm like, you know, if anything, even if this is not quote unquote true, however you define it, it's your job to show a better world. You know, it's like, if I'm seeing these things, I have to believe that they're real, because what they really want, and this is the biggest danger of all, is that they contaminate our minds with fear. You know, they're like, somebody wrote, and I don't know if this guy is a troll or something, but it's like, he was like, oh, they're going to bomb us and stuff. I'm like, no, I deleted the comment, because I don't want, this is exactly what they want. Okay. They want us to believe that there's like, they're gonna like, oh, nothing, you can never sleep. You never know what's going to happen. This could happen tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. No, that's what they want. They want us afraid so that they could create their distraction and like avoid. They want to avoid. Oh, you know, guys, I'm seeing this. They want to avoid the investigation. So they're trying to create as much distraction as possible. So maybe part of the reading about the Hawaii thing, and I hope it's not true, but I hope that Trump didn't create this with them. You know, didn't really. I do think it's a threat from the outside. I hope, but imagine. But I have no doubts about Trump. Honestly, like I think he could totally work against his own country, and he has already. I believe that. So I wouldn't put it against it. But what I'm saying is, like, we have to believe that justice is alive, and that we have power, and that we're going to change things around. Okay, we have this power to change things, and then we have the power to believe that and to create change, and that's it. Okay, it's going to happen. We have to believe that, and it's like we deal with things one at a time, but we're not going to be. I don't want to be susceptible to this ridiculous bullshit of like this guy who's clearly a con artist. That's his whole life. He's been a con artist. I don't trust a con artist. Believe that this country is going to be destroyed by a con artist. Okay, and that's what everybody has to remember. They know, they understand what the pressure they're under. Okay, it's eventually going to fall. The whole thing. It's like they can't sustain all this lying for that long. Okay, all this bullshit. Okay, so that's what I think, guys. So be well, everybody. Okay. Oh, right? Yeah, Barbara's saying yes, exactly. Oh, thank you so much, Barbara, because Barbara is in Hawaii, so she's saying you're so correct. We do have power. Thanks to this clarifying reading. I'll sleep well tonight. I hope so, but it's also like, you know, isn't it sad, guys, like that you know, the government or whoever is doing this to people's mind, you know what I mean? They want us afraid, but we're not going to be afraid. Okay, we're going to take one day at a time, and we're going to remember our power to create something better. Okay, and it's temporary, like the seasons. Soon, all these like dirt and all this like rotten stuff is going to fall out and die and go to hell. Okay, and go to hell basically. All right, guys. So Tuesday, I'm going to post a schedule, and Tuesday there's another reading. So I'll see you soon. All right, and have a good Monday, good beginning of the week. Okay. Bye. Have a good night.